On November 9th, the world was confronted with two images no one was prepared to see. The James Webb Space Telescope and the Virtual Telescope project released their newest photographs of the interstellar object known as 3I Atlas. And what those images revealed left scientists genuinely speechless. In them, the object appears as a compact, intensely bright point of light. No faint tail, no hints of outgassing, no halo of dust or vapor, nothing that should accompany an object shedding billions of tons of material while skimming close to the sun. But here is the most unsettling detail. It looks exactly the same as it did in July, when the Hubble Space Telescope last captured it. For a body that should have already lost more than 5 billion tons of mass due to solar heating, its unchanging appearance is a cosmic insult to every established law of cometary physics. To some, it's a mere anomaly. To others, it's something far more consequential. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb calls it a wake-up call from the cosmos. Because if these images show what they seem to show, a body accelerating through the solar system without ejecting anything, then 3I Atlas may not be a comet at all. It may be something constructed. The story began when astronomers noticed something strange in late October. As 3I Atlas approached its closest point to the Sun, its perihelion, the object began to accelerate instead of slowing down. This should be impossible. According to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Atlas deviated from its predicted orbit by 4 arcseconds, small on paper, but at a distance of 203 million kilometers, that angle translates into a displacement of tens of thousands of kilometers. Something enormous was pushing it off course. The calculations stunned mission analysts. The object was accelerating outward, away from the Sun, at 0.2222 mm/s superscript 2, while drifting sideways at almost the same rate. In a single month, it was displaced more than 80 kilometers, far too large to blame on random fluctuations. The question spread through observatories from Hawaii to Chile. What invisible force was steering this object? The standard explanation, outgassing, collapsed immediately. To generate that kind of thrust, Atlas would need to vent roughly 1/16 of its entire mass, more than 5 billion tons of vaporized material, producing a blinding halo visible even through small backyard telescopes. But the sky remained empty. No cloud, no glowing tail, no vapor, nothing. To emphasize the absurdity, the Virtual Telescope project released a side-by-side comparison of 3I Atlas and Comet Leonard, a perfectly ordinary comet photographed under identical conditions just days earlier. Leonard behaved exactly as expected, its radiant ghost-white tail streaming away from the Sun. But Atlas remained a pinpoint of light, sharp, compact, unblemished. It was like comparing a living organism to a marble statue, one radiating motion and energy, the other silent and frozen. For Atlas to accelerate without producing debris is like watching a rocket fly without exhaust. The physics don't just fail, they collapse. When Loeb ran the numbers, he found that if the acceleration were truly cometary, the expelled gases would create a glow brighter than the full moon. Yet the images from November 5th show nothing of the sort. The object's brightness, color, and symmetry remained eerily unchanged. Virtual Telescope director Gianluca Massi called it the most baffling observation I've ever made, noting that even instruments designed to detect the faintest dust signatures returned the same result, 0. When the data reached Harvard, Loeb and his team began reconstructing the physics behind the acceleration. Using Atlas's estimated mass, 33 billion tons, nearly a million times heavier than Oumuamua, they concluded no known natural mechanism could account for the force acting on it. Solar radiation pressure was too weak. Outgassing was invisible. Gravitational nudges from planets were impossible at such distances. That left only one option, an unknown mechanism. We have to accept what the data is telling us, Loeb said. If the physics fails, the theory must adapt. But few were willing to adapt to what that implied. The truth was too heavy. Because the numbers didn't just describe motion, they hinted at intention. The acceleration wasn't random. It was smooth, consistent, and perfectly aligned with the Sun's position, as if someone, or something, had calibrated it. The last time humanity saw anything remotely similar was with Oumuamua. But this time the effect was stronger, faster, and far more deliberate. As data poured in from telescopes worldwide, a pattern emerged. 3I Atlas wasn't breaking just one rule, it was breaking all of them. Its orbit was almost perfectly aligned with the ecliptic plane, within 5 degrees of the path followed by Earth and the other planets. A coincidence so improbable that Loeb compared it to hitting a cosmic bullseye in complete darkness. Then came the jet anomaly, a burst of material that shot toward the sun, the opposite of what comets do. Solar radiation normally pushes dust away, forming tails that always point outward. Atlas defied even that, as though it were repelling sunlight itself. Its speed was another impossibility, faster than smaller, lighter bodies like Oumuamua and Borisov, despite being vastly more massive. And its brightness curve defied logic. As it neared the sun, it brightened at a rate of -7 magnitudes, twice the intensity of any known comet. Then came the color, blue. Not icy white or fiery red, but an electric spectral blue hotter than the sun's own photosphere. Its surface temperature appeared to exceed 5,800 Kelvin, something no natural object can endure without vaporizing. By now, astronomers were no longer confused, they were alarmed. Because if 3I Atlas isn't obeying the rules of celestial mechanics, then it's obeying something else. Perhaps a command. Spectroscopic scans from James Webb and ground-based observatories revealed something stranger still, the object's composition. Unlike natural comets, which contain chaotic mixtures of rock, ice, and volatile minerals, Atlas displayed a deliberate ratio of nickel to iron, the same ratio used in engineered high-temperature alloys for spacecraft and jet engines. In nature, metals blend chaotically. In Atlas, they are balanced, refined, organized. It also contained only 4% water, making it drier than Earth's driest deserts. Not the dirty snowball we expect, but something that appears forged, not frozen. Some scientists now suspect the outer shell may not be natural at all. It could be a composite or ceramic layer, heat-resistant and polished, explaining why it reflects light so perfectly, with no cracks or irregularities. That reflection produces a polarization signature never before seen in a natural celestial body, light waves aligned with mathematical precision. As Loeb put it, if you were to design a probe to survive a billion-year voyage across the galaxy, it would look exactly like this. Then came the revelation that stunned even the skeptics. When researchers plotted the trajectory of 3I Atlas, they found its path intersected the orbits of Mars, Venus, and Jupiter, but conspicuously avoided Earth. And its timing was flawless. During perihelion, when it should be easiest to observe, it positioned itself directly behind the Sun, hidden from our instruments. This alignment is so statistically improbable that several astrophysicists now believe it cannot be coincidence. This isn't random, one JPL analyst said. It's deliberate navigation. The idea sounds insane, until you see the math. When plotted backward, the orbit points to the same region of space from which the 1977 WOW signal originated, a narrowband radio burst SETI has pursued for decades. Two anomalies separated by decades emerging from the same cosmic coordinates. Coincidence? Maybe. But as the data accumulated, maybe began to look a lot like denial. Each new image released by the Virtual Telescope project only deepened the mystery. 3I Atlas's blue hue, the deep ultraviolet glow no comet should produce, defied thermal models. Blue means heat. Blue means energy. And yet the object showed no decay, no fragmentation, no infrared heat signature. It glowed with light that wasn't heat at all, light that seemed self-generated, like controlled plasma or ionized gases. Some plasma physicists now propose the object could be using electromagnetic propulsion, manipulating the solar wind to generate thrust, technology humans have only begun to test experimentally. Others believe it could be simpler, the relic of a machine so ancient and autonomous that it continues operating long after its creators vanished. If true, we may not just be observing alien technology, we may be witnessing alien endurance, a mechanism continuing its mission in perfect silence after eons. And now the countdown begins. On December 19, 2025, 3I Atlas will make its closest approach to Earth, passing 167 million miles away, close enough for Hubble, Webb, and every major observatory to capture it in unprecedented detail. If it's a comet, we will finally see the enormous gas cloud that physics requires. But if no such cloud appears, if Atlas remains the same silent, electric blue, perfectly compact object it has always been, then the entire comet hypothesis collapses. What remains is far more disturbing. Could it be a probe, an autonomous observer scanning our solar system as part of an ancient experiment? Or something even stranger, a device programmed to activate once civilizations like ours reach the nuclear threshold, as some speculative physicists now whisper? For now, no one knows. But every image, every spectral line, every quiet shift through the dark suggests one thing: this object is watching. And it may not be finished. As the newest images from the Virtual Telescope project circulate through laboratories, observatories, and online forums around the world, one feeling hangs in the air heavier than wonder: unease. The cosmos has handed us another impossible riddle. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching.